Hey everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Paul Hagan, our global brand manager, or global, I botched that, didn't I? Our senior trade marketing manager for the WPN. And with me is Brian Trunk, our global brand manager of products. I did not steal your job. And we're here talking to you today about our newest events on the horizon for Dragons of Tarkir. Now, before we get started, over on the right-hand side of your screen, you're going to see a place where you can ask questions live. If you do that, we'll see them on screen, we'll answer you, but I just got to warn you, we're on a little bit of a delay. So if we don't answer right away, it's okay, we see you, we will get to you. Now, meanwhile, I also have in my hand here some questions that have been coming in through our retail support staff who've said, hey, retailers are curious about these things. So we just want to dive right in and start chatting about this. So, Brian, why don't you just start by telling us a little bit about Dragons of Tarkir?
We're really excited, Paul, for Dragons of Tarkir. And if you guys remember, with Fate Reforged, we had Sarkin Fall go back in time, heal the Spirit Dragon Hagan, and we let that play out in the pre-release experience in your stores. Now Sarkin is back in the future, and this is a new Tarkir. There's 5 Dragon Lords that are now ruling over Tarkir.
So now there's a big experience of the pre-release attached to this, right?
There is. The big pre-release experience this time is dragons. Players are going to come to your store and they're going to play as a dragon. They're going to choose one of the 5 different pre-release packs that represent one of the 5 Dragon Lords. And throughout the pre-release experience, whether it's in between rounds or at the end of the event, we have something called Dragon Fury that players will be able to come up and use the breath weapon inside their pre-release pack and rain fury down on the denizens of Tarkir.
Okay, so do you have one of those you can show us? Oh, never mind. We have it thrown up on screen right there. So, can you walk us through this in a little bit more detail? How this game works?
Absolutely. So, in between rounds, as I said, or after your match is over, at the end of the day, you guys should have the retailer should have this prominently displayed somewhere at the entrance of the store or where Magic's being played. And it's really just a fun activity to make you feel like a dragon. This is the most dragons we've ever put into a set. We know that our fans and players are going to be really excited to play with the dragons, and we really wanted them to embody and feel like a dragon. So they'll walk up there, they'll take their breath weapon, and they'll try to knock down the goblins and humans and orcs that are on that board. And then based on the point totals that you're seeing there on your screen right now, they'll receive one of the promo cards based on the score that they get by knocking down those tokens.
Okay, so and this is done at any time throughout the pre-release, after matches, between rounds, at the very end, just kind of retailer's discretion?
Absolutely. One of the things that we've realized with our branded play experiences is creating that awesome entertainment experience. We know that players want to come in, they want to play with the cards, and we want to give them that opportunity to play with the cards. But in between the round, we want to heighten and give a little bit more of that story experience, which is playing as a dragon this time. And, again, whenever you feel that it's right in between rounds, we don't want to stop the gameplay.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So, and it's tiered. So if I knock down 3 points worth of denizens of Tarkir, I get an Evolving Wilds. But if I hit 9, I get an Evolving Wilds and a Dragon Fodder.
Correct.
And so on and so forth.
Yes, we want to reward you. And it's the best of 2 rolls. They get 2 opportunities to roll down.
2 chances.
2 chances.
Nice.
And we're even telling retailers, hey, bring this experience back on Friday night or on game day and continue that experience and use your own rewards as players are coming into that event.
That's outstanding. So, and I just want to remind anybody, if you have any questions, feel free to chime in over on the right side of your screen. So now we have a kit that goes out with this. But outside of the kit, how are you recommending stores bring Tarkir to life?
We saw some great examples with Cons of Tarkir where players and stores were coming to the pre-release dressed as a con. Now that we're in the Dragon set, we have some really good ideas. Dragon Lord themed snacks are a really great idea. It really allows players to feel like they're playing as a dragon. Dress your store up as the throne room. Dragons love throne rooms. Dress your store up as a throne room. Or potentially, you could even bring, make props of the dragon breath weapon. I see we've done some of that in our trademark, our WPN video.
Mm-hmm.
There's some examples of those as well, and that breath weapon is really cool. I think you actually have an example to show us.
That's the sound lightning makes. So now we have our standard suite of programs, right? Launch weekend, game day, buy box, all of that's still here?
That is correct.
Outstanding. And we've got all of that. Naturally, some new players are going to come in during pre-release. it's one of the biggest spectacles surrounding any set, and there's always going to be new players who come in.
Right.
How do stores prepare for that?
You know, as we said, Duels of the Planeswalkers, and if you've tuned into us before, you've heard us say this, Duels is the best way to teach those new Magic players how to play Magic. We always want them coming back to Friday Night Magic. We made some really significant changes with Friday Night Magic this year, allowing you to run any event that you'd like to run there, so it's much more casual, to be a much more welcoming environment to those new players. And as we said before, welcome, say hello, greet those new players when they walk in the store, teach them with a sample deck, hand them a sample deck, get them involved in your community, and your community will actually take up that torch and teach that new player how to play the game, lend them cards, and at the end of the day, point them to Duels of the Planeswalkers, and then invite them back to your next Friday Night Magic.
Yeah, we can't emphasize that enough. To engage with your community to help welcome new players. We want to make everybody feel welcome. All gamers welcome to come into your store. Now, I did see a question come in over here on the side, and this is kind of some of the fun of working with websites someday. So it says, during yesterday's announcement regarding the activity, you stated there would be possible to receive a Sunscorched Regent card, even showed some art up, and then sometime later that came down. And the question is, how will that promo be distributed? And I think this is unfortunately one of those oops moments with designing websites.
Yeah. We definitely had a little mistake yesterday with the Sunscorched Regent. That unfortunately is not a promo.
Yeah, that's just one of those, every once in a while when you publish stuff on a website, things show up in the place that you don't intend it to, and apologies on any confusion surrounding that. Last call on questions here. If there's anybody else who's curious or has any questions we haven't answered yet, chime in now. But as a last thing for you while we're waiting on those to come in, is if you wanted to give everyone this one thing to focus on for their Dragons of Tarkir events, what would that be?
We always focus on our players and our fans and creating that excitement in your store. Paul and I were talking a little bit earlier about this today, and I think that one of the really exciting things you can do with Dragons of Tarkir is players are choosing to come into your store and spend 3 to 5 hours at this pre-release experience. It's an unbelievable experience playing as a dragon. Dragon Fury, you have the Dragon Fury game to play as well. What we were suggesting is be really great in your store to potentially set up a feature match area and allow those players, those fans, to feel like a Dragon Lord. You put them up at the front of the store, you allow that to be the feature match table, and players really get excited to see if they can get up to the feature match area. You allow your players that are undefeated to go up there and play throughout the event. And it's really that sense of accomplishment, that sense of reward. And as Paul said, there's a lot of ideas around that you can really highlight in your store.
Yeah, you might even go so far as to, hey, there's an opportunity to stream matches being played at that feature match area for your store. But you want to make everybody feel welcome and excited and get to be part of this great in-store experience for these Dragons events.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't look like we had any other questions come in, so I want to thank everybody who was able to join us today. And as always, if you have any questions, you have any thoughts, you're even looking for inspiration, feel free to go to our WPN website. That's at wpn.wizards.com, or reach out to our support staff. And we have one other thing coming at the last minute. This is not a question, but I wanted to say thanks. Oh, well, hey, and we really appreciate that. So, all right, y'all, take care.
Great, thank you.